Good morning! I'm Chef Sarah Glover and we are here in beautiful Zion, and I woke up this morning, lit the campfire and thought I'd show you guys how to cook a delicious breakfast. So let's get cooking. As a kid, my brothers and I used to make this really yummy lemon syrup and we would smother our waffles in it. So I really wanted to show you guys how to elevate your waffle game by cooking over the campfire, adding some ricotta and making this mind-blowing syrup. I guarantee it's going to become a staple in your home. Our first step is to separate our egg yolk from our egg white. Now this can be a little intimidating for people, so I'm going to teach you a little hack. You're going to grab a separate bowl to your main one that you're going to be cooking in. Now you just want to actually crack your egg on a separate surface. The reason being is you don't want to get any shell in here, and then we're going to simply just pop our two little fingers in here and we're going to halve our eggshell. Now you can see just naturally this eggshell has created a great little bunker for my yolk, and so I'm just gonna use this to go between the two shells, and that's it. And then we just pop our little egg yolk to the side, and then I've got my white in this bowl, and I can see I haven't got any egg yolk or shell in my bowl, so I'm gonna dump it into my main bowl I'm gonna cook in. We're gonna whip our egg whites. I've already given it a bit of a head start. We're just gonna get some like kind of little stiff peaks on our egg whites by using a balloon whisk. All right, this is looking pretty good to me. Just holding a little bit of a peak on the end of my whisk, which is perfect. We're gonna add a little bit of extra zing into our waffles by simply zesting some of our little rind from the lemon into our bowl. We just want to be careful when we're doing this that we're not getting the white part of the lemon, because that kind of is where the bitter part is, and in the skin is where all that like oily, yummy flavor of lemon is. So just bang that out. You can see I've just used that. We're going to reserve this and keep it for our syrup. Everybody loves light and fluffy when it comes to waffles, and that's why I'm using egg whites, and I've also got some ricotta in here. So I'm going to pop in about that. It's probably like a good third of a cup of ricotta into my bowl. Now I'm not mixing anything just yet. And then I've got some milk. I'm also going to pop in about a third of a cup of milk, whole milk in there. And then our next step, our favorite mix. Just eyeballing it. About that, looks good. I'm going to give it a little mix. Taste test. Okay guys, I'm gonna show you something super cool, and this is my little trusty cast iron campfire waffle contraption. So it does separate into two little bits like this, and I've pre-sprayed it. I have also heated it up over the campfire while I was making this little mix. So you wanna grab your waffle mix and you're gonna spoon it into your little campfire cast iron contraption. I don't know what you call these things. So I've put the lid down, and what that's actually going to do is it's going to compress our mixture inside of this little cast iron waffle pan. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to grab a couple of little coals from my fire and put them on the lid. And you can already see it starting to lift and cook there. I don't even think I'm going to need this on. This thing is just cooking so fast. I'm going to flip it. The reason I'm flipping it is I don't want it to burn too much. I want it to cook evenly. So I'm just gonna flip it to the other side because this guy's already really, really hot, and it's just gonna give that opportunity for the bottom part to get a little bit of color on it. Something that's a little intimidating for people when they're cooking on the campfire is they always burn everything. So my hack is to let your fire burn down for a good hour before you cook on it. And one way you can actually help to regulate your heat is just get a really long pair of tongs, and you can move your bits of wood and coal around that way. And then you can also use these handy grates that a lot of campfires have these days, and you can move your pan to like the hotter or like less hot parts on your fire. So I've just moved my little cast iron waffle pan kind of to the back of the fire because I want to give it a good 15 minutes inside this little cast iron pan to cook. And while it's cooking, I'm going to show you guys how to make that syrup I was talking about. This is how you guys make this mind-blowing syrup. Now I've got two types of lemons here. I've got a Maya lemon and just a normal regular household lemon. The Maya lemons are so fantastic to use in your syrups, and particularly when you're making something a little sweeter. And the reason being is they're just like a little bit more of a mellow lemon flavor. They're not quite as strong and acidic. They have a little bit more sugar in them, so they tend to be a little sweeter, and they just add another layer of like flavor to your syrup. All right, so we're gonna zest a Maya lemon, and then we're gonna zest also just a regular lemon. And if you don't have Maya, that's fine. You're just gonna use 2 regular lemons, and we're just gonna add a little bit more sugar to sweeten it up. All right, so then we're gonna slice those lemons that we've just zested. And I just wanna show you the color difference between the 2 lemons. So this is a Maya lemon, this is a regular one. And you can just see how it's got this kind of like sweeter, more golden color to it. And we're just gonna squeeze our lemons into the pot. You can tell I don't really care so much about seeds and stuff. If you do care, you can use a little juicer. It's not something you generally have when you're camping. All right, so we've got the juice of about 3 lemons, which equals about a cup of lemon juice. And then we've got the zest of 2 lemons in there. And then I've got some cane sugar, and in Australia we call this raw sugar. And this is just basically more of like a caramelly flavored sugar, so not like your regular white sugar that you use in a household. If you can get this, I prefer it. It's just got a little bit more of a caramelly flavor to it. And I'm gonna pop in probably about 1/3 of a cup into my pot, about that. And that's it. We're just gonna throw this on the fire and let this thing burn down. Moment of truth. I always get a little nervous. Has it stuck to the cast iron frying pan? Oh, heck yeah. Nailed it. I'm so happy with the way that looks. That color is out of control. All right, if it kind of like gets a little jammed on your pan, just like give it a little bang. And then, oh yeah. Mate, campfire waffle. Doesn't get much better than that. Second waffle's done. We're gonna check our little syrup. So the way you know it's done, it's been on the boil for about 15 minutes now. It's kind of had a good rolling boil. All the sugar has dissolved. It smells kind of like candy, you know, like lemon candy. And all my lemon rind has also kind of turned this like vivid, sort of caramelly yellow coloring. And so is our syrup. So that's how you kind of know this is done, and it smells so fantastic. This is definitely my favorite part, where we get to fill it up with all the good things. All right, let's try this. It takes me straight back to being a kid. This is light and it's fluffy because of the ricotta in it, and the lemon zest is so incredible. I cannot wait for you to try this at home. Cheers!